Hey guys, are you struggling to find the destination for your next big adventure?
Well, struggle no more. We've got the solution for you.
I'm Lynn.
And I'm Danny.
Welcome to RV America.
The original RV America.
We want to recommend to you the Mighty 5 National Parks.
So what is the Mighty 5? The Mighty 5 are 5 national parks that scan across southern and central Utah and talk about some amazing landscape.
When you explore these 5 national parks, you will see some of the most amazing scenery you have ever seen. They have everything from arches to canyons, hoodoos, just amazing things that you can see, and they're all centrally located.
And these 5 national parks are Zion, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, and Arches. So 5 national parks, as we said, across southern Utah.
And one of the most amazing things is that these parks are all located within an hour and some maybe 2 hours of each other. So you can really get a lot in and see a lot in a small amount of time without doing enormous amounts of driving.
Right, and that's why it makes such a great road trip. And there's other areas that we'll talk about that you can throw in to make it even a better
Even
road.
longer, depending on how long you have.
Right.
So we want to share with you some of the reasons why this road trip is an absolute must.
And if you stay tuned till the end, we're going to give you some bonus tips, including when's the best time to go.
So let's talk about it. So the first reason that you want to go to these parks is the variety of scenery. No two of these parks are exactly the same. They are each unique in their own way.
Right.
From the canyons in Canyonland to the arches in Arches National Park, they're just all so different. And you will be amazed as you bounce from one to the other. We loved Arches, but Bryce was amazing. Don't you think?
Like Lynn said, no 2 parks are the same. Each one has their own charm, each one has their own formations, and you're going to really enjoy this trip. All right, the next reason is the extensive hiking trails. These national parks are full of trails that you're going to love to do, and they take you to a reward. You know how we like hiking, but we especially like hiking when we get to somewhere that's exciting, an arch, a canyon, or something like that. So I want you to imagine hiking to Delicate Arch and you're standing below this 100-foot arch, or you're hiking down the Virgin River in what they call the Narrows. So many people take that.
Yeah.
And
we did not, but a lot of people do.
We ran out of time, and we'll talk about that more later. Angel's Landing is an amazing hike that so many people take, and they're throughout every park hikes like these.
Right. They have trails in each of these parks that go from the novice hiker to the one who is very experienced and goes out and stays overnight and hikes for days and days and days. We are way in the middle of that.
We love hiking, but
we love hiking, but
we like to get home to the RV and the pets at the end of the day.
For sure. We've gone on hikes in all of the parks, some of them pretty easy. In Bryce Canyon, we walked around the top and it was snow. The trail that we wanted to do, we couldn't do because of the snow and the slippery.
I think we could have, but they said you have to get spiked shoes.
Yeah.
So we decided not to rent spiked shoes.
People don't need spiked shoes to go on a trail.
And she's old.
And I'm old, I guess, yeah.
So we didn't want to risk it and rent those shoes and slide down something. So we just went around the top of the canyon.
Yeah, which just gives us an excuse to go back because we missed a whole lot that time.
Yeah, and we will say that this was when we first retired, and we were with somebody, and we went pretty quick and spending a day or 2 days in a park. And and we'll talk more about that, what you really need.
Yeah, when you're retired, when you first retired especially, you go traveling, you hit traveling like you are on a vacation, and you go boom, 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 boom. Versus now that we've been retired for about 3 years, we've kind of slowed down and we've realized it's okay for us to stay in a place longer than 2 days, that we've got more time than we used to have.
Right.
So it's a learning process.
So there's a lot of hiking for all levels.
So maybe you're not a hiker. There's still great reasons for you to go to these parks. And one of the biggest reasons is the Scenic Drive. You do not have to be a hiker to enjoy these parks, and a lot of the things, a lot of the views, you will be able to see directly from your car.
Yep. And everybody loves a beautiful Scenic Drive, especially through this part of the United States. You see so much landscape that's foreign to most of us. We don't see on a regular basis where we see those things. So you can drive and take the Zion Mount Carmel Highway. It'll take you through the heart of Zion, and it'll take you through the tunnel of Zion Mount Carmel, which is going to be an amazing thing to see. Another scenic highway that a lot of people talk about is taking Highway 12. It's a scenic route from Bryce Canyon all the way up to Capitol Reef, and you get to see some amazing views that hey, am I in a national park? Because you get to see those things along the drive. Just beautiful landscape.
Just driving the roads through the national park themselves are absolutely wonderful, and you'll be glad you did it if you don't do anything else while you're there. So next on our list is the fact that these 5 national parks provide endless, and I do mean endless, photo opportunities. From the arches, the sunset catching through the arches, all the way over to the hoodoos in Bryce Canyon.
Yep.
You can just take picture after picture after picture after picture.
And we did.
We did.
So you can get up early and see the sunrise coming through Mesa Arch, or taking photo ops at the Narrows, or Angel Landing, as we mentioned. Some of these things are going to be fabulous photo opportunities.
So next on our list, if you're a stargazer, these parks are going to be your paradise.
Yep. All 5 parks are designated dark sky areas, and you can really see some beautiful skies. A lot of times people will mention stargazing from Bryce Canyon, or just watching the desert sky at Capitol Reef and seeing the Milky Way just pass by. So there's some great opportunities to see
Stargazing.
Yes, beautiful skies. Another reason you should take this road trip are the Geological Marvels. They are everywhere you go. In the arches, you have the fiery furnace, where the wind and the water have just carved out beautiful arches and fins, and that just go on for what seems like for a mile. Beautiful area. Or when you're in Capitol Reef, check out the water pockets. It's where the crust of the earth has been moved, and you'll just see the ridge, and it goes for 100 miles of ridge where that movement of the earth has created that ridge for that long. Just amazing geological marvels that are out there.
So another reason to go to these parks is the cultural and historical things that are located in them. From the petroglyphs to the remains of the early settlers. There is so much history in all of them. So another great thing about visiting these parks is that you can set your own schedule and your own pace. You can choose to spend 7 days there, or if you have longer, you could spend a month or 2 months there and still not be able to see everything. If you want to extend your trip, try including the Grand Canyon. It's not very far, it's just a short drive. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it's just a short drive, and the Grand Canyon is an amazing place all in itself. And you talk about photo opportunities. They are in abundance there.
So another great thing about this road trip are the starting points. You can start from Salt Lake City. You can start from Las Vegas or Flagstaff and drive in, or with your RV, or maybe you fly into those destinations and rent a car. But the great news is, around each of these parks, around the Mighty Five, there were over 80 campgrounds and over 70 or so hotels. So you're going to have a place to stay and a place to rest for the night and get ready for the next day's adventure.
So now that we've given you all the reasons that you want to take this trip, and I'm sure you have decided that you want to take this trip, let's talk about a couple of tips that are going to help to make it easier.
So that first tip is the entrance fee. There's 5 parks, and it costs you $30 for each park. That's 150 bucks. Or the tip is, get the American Beautiful Pass. It's $80 for a year. Unless you're a senior, then you get it for a lifetime. Military and other
Disabled
categories have a lifetime for the one-time fee of $80. then you'll really make your money up by buying that pass, because it lets you into these parks and all the parks across the United States. So that is a great win for you by getting in the parks and saving money.
And if you decide you want to camp on the inside of the parks, the America the Beautiful Pass will also get you a discount on, I believe, all of the campgrounds that are inside the park, if you are able and one of those lucky people who actually got a campsite inside the parks.
Right. And the next tip is get there early.
Yes, the traffic in every one of these parks is going to be really, really bad. Parking is at a, what's the word I'm looking for? Parking is at a...
It's at a minimum. Yeah.
It's at a minimum. Parking is almost non-existent. So they're parking on the sides of the roads. I think all of the parks have a bus that you can get on if you park in the main parking area, and we did that for more than one. I think we did that for 2 that we were at.
2.
Just parked and got on the bus. But even parking and getting on the bus, if you don't get there early, you're going to have to park way, way out and walk in to get on the bus before you go to do your hike. So
get there early.
Get there early regardless. That's the only way to do it. So let us share with you the tip that we talked about in the beginning, which is the time of year for you to go to these parks. A lot of people think summertime is the best time to get out and go and hit everything. It actually is not.
Yeah, this is desert, so you'll be battling 100-degree weather during June, July, August. Very, very hot. So do not, in our opinion, go during the summer.
If you can avoid it. If that's the only time you can go, by all means go, but drink lots of water.
Yep. And Bryce Canyon would stay cooler. It's higher up in the mountains, so that's a great one to go during the summer and spend majority of your time there. But spring and fall are just beautiful. So those are the times you need to go. Get there, make your reservations early, and be able to enjoy that beautiful time of the year.
Now, let's talk about the spring and the fall. If you are going to these parks and it's springtime, go to the southern parks first. So the northern ones will have a little bit of time to heat up before you get up there, depending on how long you're staying. And if you're going in the fall, go to the northern ones first and then the southern ones later, if you can make your route go that way.
Yep.
If you have that flexibility.
Yes.
Some people don't.
Yep.
So if you're considering visiting one or all 5 of these national parks, we have more videos that you're going to want to see. Danny will link that playlist right here. So, one last reason why you need to go visit these parks. You will make memories that will last you your lifetime.
Yep. From hiking to an arch, watching the sunrise or sunset on the desert, enjoying hiking down the Narrows, and so many different things of just kicking back and relaxing and enjoying that type of landscape. That will be a great, great memory. And speaking of memories, one thing that pops in my head that it's kind of strange since you have all these 5 parks was how the ranger got Lynn to sniff Ponderosa pines.
Well, they said the Ponderosa pines smell like vanilla. And so I went around smelling of the trees, trying to find the ones that smelled like vanilla.
So I'll put some video up of that. But that does have...
He laughed at me. He wouldn't smell the trees. He wouldn't smell the trees at all. I'm like, you're not adventurous.
I did look it up. That is the case, and she did find 1 or 2 that smelled like vanilla. But that is a funny adventure. With, like I said, with all these other things that we saw, it just sticks in my mind that she's sniffing trees.
And that memory will last our lifetime, I'm sure. We'll be laughing about that 30 or 40 years from now, hopefully.
Right. So we encourage you, pack your bags, get ready, make your reservations, and head out to explore the Mighty 5.
Until next time, God bless and many safe travels.
And go RV, America.